there, it's Jackie from ClampandStampers.com, and I am here to give you some tips and tricks for putting together your Going Global card kit. Now first, before we start talking about the cards, I just want to show you a little tip with your stamp set. Some of you know this, but I don't like to put the labels on my stamps, even when they are the clear mounted, because I feel like they stick to the block a whole lot better without the label. But what I do is I slide the label, kind of all falling apart here, in the back, you know, on your cases, there's this little plastic area, and I just slide it right back there. And I do the same thing with my photopolymer, but now I know what stamps I have and where they go, and I just stick them back in the case on top of the image, so I always know if I'm missing something or not. So little tip with storage on your stamps. So let's dig into the cards. You have your card kit comes with 5 different cards. Now the PDF will give you all the dimensions so that you can very easily cut more cardstock if you'd like to make more of these. Also included will be 2 half sheets of cardstock, a very vanilla and a whisper white, and I'll tell you why in just a second. And then you'll also have a little baggie. I don't have them made up yet when I did this video, but in the baggie you're going to find all your punch pieces, your sequins, and your ribbons, and all your extra little doodads. So I put them in a little baggie to make it easier so you don't lose stuff. But anyway, let's dig in. Here's card number 1. Now with this one, I want to talk a little bit about the punches. Like I said, I have all the pieces pre-punched for you. However, it is always easier to stamp first than punch. What happens if you have your punched piece and now you have to line your stamp up on there, it's a little bit tricky. You do have 2 sides, so at least you have 2 chances at it. But if you do have the various punches, what I would suggest is you stamp first onto the scrap paper. I'll just stick this in here and make believe it's stamped on there. And then take your punch and go, and you can go in, have it upside down like that, and you'll be able to see where the image is, and you can line it right up there and then punch it and get a perfectly punched image. So like I said, if you have the various punches, do it that way with the extra cardstock that I've left you. And then stick this one together, very simply put together. Make sure you put your baker's twine around on here and tie it before you adhere this black layer down. And then I do have dimensionals underneath both the heart here and the globe. So that's card 1. Card 2, I don't think there's really anything different. Again, if you have the punches, use the scrap paper. The black, I did emboss this with the Lucky Stars embossing folder. That one works great, or any other one does as well. So whatever embossing folders you have, just go ahead and do that on the black. Again, put this together, and I do have dimensionals this time under all 3 different circles, as well as the washi label punch. So again, washi label punch is a fun one. If you have it, go ahead and do the scrap paper. Otherwise, work really hard to get that lined up on there. Number 3. Now this one, this big star, this is already cut out for you. I did use a Thinlit for that. The background I embossed again with the Lucky Stars embossing folder. Any of them look fabulous, so if you don't have the star one, just pick one that you have. The World Traveler one that goes with the set that was part of your bundle this month, that would look great there as well. A couple little tips. Sequins. This is kind of the hot thing, and it kind of took me a while to get on board with it, but they really do add a nice little touch. Now I will include 3 star sequins in that little baggie, so be really careful to try to find them. But the easiest way to adhere those to your cardstock, I think, is using the fine tip glue pen that I know many of you have, and you just put a teeny tiny dab on there and then put your start on it. Tweezers works really good, you know, to hold on to it and stick it down there, but you just don't want to have adhesive gooshing out. Now you will see on the card the little piece of ribbon here, and all that is, it's a short little piece. I cut the ends at an angle here, and what you'll do is fold it in half, okay, and then put some adhesive on the back of your mossy green or mossy maddo cardstock, and actually stick that right on there. So you'll put that on Open Up Mini Stapler. It works awesome, and it has a really long reach. If you don't have that, just use any stapler that you have. Now I want to show you how I did the little fishtail ends on the ribbon, because I know some people struggle with that. All I do is I take my ribbon, I'll have just a straight, I straighten it up a little bit here, straight end on it, and then cut in the middle. This makes it easy with the stripe because we know where the middle is, but cut in a little ways in the middle, and then just go, and I do the same thing with paper. Okay, go from the point, the edge to the middle where that cut is, and then come over on this side and do the same thing and just bring it up to where we cut. And that'll give you your nice little fishtail. So ribbon, paper, it all works the same. Now, the main image on this one, you'll notice, is the love between us knows no distance. That is one stamp. Now, I have stamped it on here for you already, and it is punched out with a 2-inch punch. Again, use scrap paper if you have your own 2-inch punch. If not, I did include a piece for you, so you just have to work hard to line it up. And then what you're going to do is you're going to actually stamp it a second time. I gave you a scrap. I think this is the Dijon. I'll have to check your instructions to be sure. But what I did then is I stamped it, and then I'm just going to take my scissors and we're going to cut out the little love banner. Now, a little tip for cutting. Someone told me this years and years ago. When you're cutting, fussy cutting, as people like to call it, don't be always trying to move your scissors around to get around things. Turn your paper. So you'll see as I'm cutting, and I like to leave a little edge outside of the line. Don't cut right on the line, but you'll notice how with my left hand, I'm actually turning my paper. Okay, this here, my scissors in my right hand is not turning very much. Okay, most of the motion is over here in my left hand, just spinning my cardstock around. It makes it much easier to cut. So we're going to cut out the little love piece and just adhere it right over the top of the love on the white one. And then go ahead and put the rest of your card together. There are dimensionals underneath the scallop, and there's dimensionals underneath the white circle here to give it a lot of fun dimension. So that's the 4th card. Now for card number 5, we have kind of a new little technique I don't know that I've done with you guys before, but you can see the background on here. You can see the map, and it's not embossed. Okay, the other ones we've been using the folder to emboss, but this time we're going to use our embossing folder kind of like a stamp. So I'm going to open it up, and I want to make sure the side that says Stampin' Up, where you can read it here, that's the side I want to apply the ink. So we're going to open it up. So we'll go this way, and I'm going to just take my ink pad and I'm going to ink it up. It actually works best to just kind of rub it across there. Okay, so we'll get it all nice and inky, and then you're going to take your layer that you're going to use for your card and just lay it on side there, close it up, and then you need to rub really hard. And I know my video is going to shake when I do this, so excuse the shaking. And I won't worry too much if I get it stamped really good. But the harder you rub, the better of an impression you're going to get. And then open it up. And see, I did not rub very hard, so you can't see it very well on there. But if you look at my one here, you can see how much ink I had on there. It didn't pick it up real good there, but the harder you rub, the more you'll get an impression. So you just get this nice stamped world behind there. And I did then take the stamp that says "You Mean the World to Me," and I stamped it also in Sahara Sand, just kind of randomly throughout. So that's how you do the background on that one. And then the rest of it is pretty simple. This is a piece of background paper that your globe is stamped onto. That's why it's got so much dimension looking in there. So I think I should have enough of that same color to be able to give you all the exact same piece. I'll punch your circle out and you can just punch your globe over it. We talked about how to do the fishtails on there. So that should be it. Those are the 5 cards in the Going Global card kit. I hope you've enjoyed making them, and I hope you use the instructions and the tips that I shared with you to make a bunch more. Don't just make, the 5 cards in your card kit and set your stamp set aside and don't use it again. So enjoy, and I hope to see you again next month with another card kit.